Have you guys ever had those days where you just constantly kind of think of something, not exactly a personal problem or something, or just something going on in your life? And that's kind of how I've been since I heard about this. And, you know, when you get older, you kind of think a little bit more about the things that have happened in your life compared to, personal problems and, sharing your crayons with little kids. And when you're in kindergarten, those were pretty much your problems. And it's kind of different nowadays when you get older, when you get into junior high, when you're in high school. So, I'm not one of those people that kind of just dwells on things, but this isn't really dwelling on much. I just want to talk about it because YouTube is kind of just like a personal diary to most of us commentators out there because we're able just to talk to our subscribers and talk over gameplay, and you don't really have to talk about this to your parents. You can kind of just talk to it to you guys, and I really do like that. It's the kind of thing where you can just be able to have some freedom of speech and whatever you want to talk about and what your subscribers will enjoy. And what I'm going to be talking about and what I've been dwelling on for this past minute is just self-harm and suicide. And obviously, when you get older, a lot of people say that they're going to commit suicide. And my thoughts on suicide is just that I'm Christian, and I'm actually Lutheran to be specific, but Christians obviously believe that if you commit suicide, then you'll go to hell. And I strongly believe in that. So I would never think of committing suicide because the afterlife is probably one of the greatest things that I've heard. I mean, obviously you can't hear from experience. You can't just ask your grandmother that's passed away how is heaven, because obviously you can't communicate that way. But heaven seems like a great place. It's a place for your soul to rest. And why wouldn't you want to take that opportunity? I mean, if you're a great person, you've lived a great life, you haven't done really anything bad. I mean, everybody makes mistakes, and it's not like everyone's perfect in life. And the thing is, when people make mistakes, they know that the mistakes they have made are terrible, and some people just want to go back to it and fix it. But that's not how life works. There's no rewind button. You can't go back to the past, and you can't go into the future. So you can't see what you're gonna do, and you can't fix what you've already done. And to me, I think that if you really have to think about it twice, then it's probably not a good thing. Because if you're thinking about committing suicide, and I know that there's people out there that have done this, and the reason I'm bringing this commentary up is because twice this year I've been told by people, I know I'm not going to say their names, because I know that'd just be rude. I don't want to, expose them, because I know my friends do watch my videos. I don't want to tell who they actually were, so then, and it was no one that watches my videos, but I just don't want to say who the people were that told me this. But it's girls, to be specific, and for some reason guys have not ever told me that they've wanted to commit suicide. I don't know why it is that girls are always the ones that are like that. It's beyond me, and I've never thought of committing suicide. I mean, no matter how tough your life is, that's the coward's way out. The coward's way out is to commit suicide. Put a gun to your head, put a knife to your throat, put a knife to your chest. It's just the coward's way out. And I know my uncle told me a story. I've never heard of this story myself, but he told me how there was a story. I don't know if it was in the Bible or it was separate from the Bible or whatever. And he told me, this guy was put through hell, and this is the story behind it. It's that the devil he asked God if he can do things to this guy, and not like anything that not sexual or anything. I personally touch him, but he asked him if he can put him through hell pretty much while he was still alive. What he did was took away his family. This guy was like a rich guy, and he took away his family. He took away his farmland, took away all of his animals, and throughout all of that, this guy looked to God, and he talked to God about it. And after all, God said, this is enough. He's been through hell. Just, let him go. And he got everything back. And pretty much that's one of your best options. I mean, even if you don't believe in God, go to someone that is close to you, because if they know how to get you out of it. And the number one thing that I've figured out after both like talking to these people and hearing their stories about how they want to commit suicide, the number one thing is be kind to them, because obviously there's someone in their life that has made them mad, and that's why they're committing suicide. And there's other reasons, of course, maybe because there's family problems. There's times where you're just having a bad day, and there's times where I think to myself, I'm having a terrible day, and I don't really want this to go on anymore. But you gotta fight through it. You gotta persevere through it, and all that. And the thing is, if you on the bright side, I know there's not much bright side to this commentary at all. But on the bright side is that if you look at it this way, and you think, there's people having a way worse time than you are out here, because there's people that are starving to death, and you're sitting here and you have a minor problem. And for instance, this one girl, she told me, you know, her the guy she likes, or she he likes another girl. And think about that. If you look on the bright side, yeah, you might be upset about that, but now think about it. There's people that are starving to death. There are people that are fighting through cancer. And if you think that you're just gonna be, upset about that and you want to commit suicide, and I'm gonna try and stop you from committing suicide, because I never want to see anyone that I'm close to commit suicide at all. Maybe I'm not even close to them. I wouldn't want to hear about it from my school or anything. So I would want to stop them. And the main reason is you have tons of life to live, especially when you're young and everything, and you don't deserve to go through that, and you shouldn't deserve to go through that. So guys, I hope you did enjoy the series commentary. Hope you just stick with me, and I'm out.